Thank you, Navdeep. Good morning, everyone. And personally, I take this opportunity to welcome again you all in this webinar which CII has organized. The topic for this webinar is importance of organization behavior. And you know, you all work in a different organization, and you would realize you would realize that you have a nice infrastructure, you have money to pump in organization, you have everything, good technology, but you don't have good human behavior human resource to work in organization, then nothing will happen with your organization. No achievement will happen with your organization, because you know your organizational success is anyways linked with the success of your human resource in organization. That's why here we are present to discuss the importance of organization behavior. Success of any organization depends upon the motivation and commitment of employee. And who will create motivation in your workforce, in your employee? You are the people who are responsible for creating motivational level in organization. As a manager, line manager, as a team leader, as a group leader, you people are responsible. OB, organization behavior, is way to know the commitment of employee. Even you can predict, guide, and control the commitment and performance of employee in your organization. We all know external environment is dynamic, volatile, with lots of competition. That is why organization should know the concept of OB, and it's important for better effectiveness of the organization. We have certain questions, or each managers or line managers have certain questions in their mind. The first one is a normal day-to-day question which arises. What makes people more productive? Do you have any answer, or we have any answer, or we have to find out the answer? This one is important. The first question arises. Second question arises, how to organize the way work is done. Each organization has certain rules, institutionalized process to complete the work. We have question, how to manage these works. What are the drivers for retention of superkeepers in your organization? You know about probably you know about the concept of superkeepers. Who are the superkeepers? Who adds value in your organization? And due to competition, each organization is waiting for the poaching of superkeepers from other organizations. You should have certain strategy, certain drivers to retain your superkeeper in organization. Another question comes up, how do you create alignment between individual and organizational value for job satisfaction? Until unless your employees and your human resource has job satisfaction, you will not achieve the goal, because individual satisfaction is linked with organizational goal, because the moment your employee is satisfied, he or she will put hard work, he will be involved with the job, he will be committed with the job, and finally he will produce more effort, more productivity. He or she would be more productive for your organization. So these are certain questions always come up, and we discussed so many times as an academic with corporate people how to solve these questions, how to satisfy human resource of any organization. That's why I'm here to discuss the concept of OB, which helps in creating satisfaction level of organization. Now you can see the first slide. First slide, what we have, what managers do. It's a planning, controlling, guidance, leading. These are the normal activities which managers do in organization. But how will you do? What you do, you know. How will you do? Actually, you have to take help from other employees to complete your task which you have decided as a team leader. So individuals who achieve goals through other people. And just a simple situation I can give you, I can discuss later at the end when you will have certain question. Suppose you are team leader and you have certain assignment which needs to be completed for the organizational success, and your team members are not motivated, how will you motivate your team members? Because here you just see in the slide individuals who achieve goals through other people. Other people are not motivated enough to complete the task. It's your responsibility, it's my responsibility to motivate people. So managerial activities I have just written because you know to take decision, allocate resources, direct activities of others to attain goals. But how? This one is question mark, and OB will guide you how to solve these questions. Where managers work, it's a simple definition of organization. What I have written on the slide is a bookish definition, but simple definition is more than two people working together for a common goal. It's organization. And here managers work in an organization. We can't work in a silo, suppose sitting at home and doing any work for organization. Not possible. So we are sitting in an organization where we work in team and achieve a common goal, which common goal is linked with organization goal also. These are the common functions which you know: planning, organizing, controlling and leading, which managers do as a regular work in the organization. I don't think I have to discuss planning, organizing, controlling. This one is, what are management skills? Technical skills, human skills and conceptual skills. These three skills are important. Coffee without sugar and milk. Sorry. So these are three skills. You have to, as a manager or line manager, you have to promote these three skills. Technical skills, basically knowledge about the project. Knowledge is a IQ. Human skills are interpersonal skills which are required very much in this environment to complete the task. Conceptual skill is like your creative thinking. You can analyze any concept. It will help you in your decision making. But these three skills are typical common skills in organization. I am here to talk about another skill, which is emotional skills or emotional quotients you can use, or the third is interpersonal skills. It's very important nowadays. You have to develop in your employees emotional quotient. Basically, emotional quotient has four concepts: know yourself, change yourself. First you know yourself, then you change yourself, then know other people and manage other people. And the last one is empathy, which you have to show as a line manager in your organization. Then you would be able to achieve whatever you wanted to achieve through your team members. So these are certain skills required for achievement of goal. These are the definition of organizational behavior, a field of study that investigates the impact that individuals, group and structure have on behavior within organizations for the purpose of applying such knowledge toward improving an organizational effectiveness. If a little bit I want to talk about the history of organizational behavior. It's not a new concept. Since 1880, people were started talking about organizational behavior and how to improve the productivity in organization. Then after 1930, so many schools came up with certain ideas. Henry Foyle, Douglas MacGregor, they came up with different concepts like scientific management, where you need to break the job into different parts. Then behavioral era came, where people, if they found performance always increased. Why? Because people are satisfied in your organization. That behavior exhibits the satisfaction level. So many schools came, discussed about organizational behavior, and finally it was decided this one is the core concept of any organization which needs to follow. So many areas have contributed in the field of organizational behavior. Now just see, psychology, the science that seeks to measure, explain and sometimes change the behavior of humans as other animals. Do you think learning is important in organization? Yes. Through learning, you can change the behavior of workforce employees. It's called as a behavior modification, and you have different ways like positive reinforcement. Sometimes you need negative reinforcement, punishment also, extinction also to change the behavior of employee. Even organizational learning is a very important concept to give in organization where people will keep on learning a new concept and internalize the concept to give better productivity in organization. Then motivation. Motivation either extrinsic or intrinsic. What is intrinsic? Because we are motivated to work. I am here. I wanted to discuss this concept with you people so I can have certain idea about organizations also. So I am self-motivated, that's why I am here. The same way, if your employees are self-motivated, they have certain desire, they have certain need, they will give better productivity in your organization. Extrinsic means, I have one like, right now I can't ask question, but have you seen any appointment letter with where it has been written psychological contract or expectation? No, not at all. Nobody has seen. It's a psychological concept. When I'm getting one appointment letter from an organization, I have feeling I will put hard work and I will have certain expectation from organization. They will give us some reward. That reward is motivation, either tangible or intangible in organization. So second concept already we discussed. The third concept is, do you think personality is also important? Very important. Person, job, fit. You can't hire a person who is not fit for the job. And we can discuss later when I will have chance, or you can read through books and internet, personality type A personality and type B personality. We are conducting so many tests to find out the personality trait of each individual. Suppose I am giving a simple example. You have a marketing team. Can you take an introvert for your marketing team? No, not at all. That's why it's important to know the personality of your employees and you can match the job with the personality traits of employee. Even another concept came up, not only job, personality fit the organization. It's also important in Indian culture. Who is fit for the which organization? Call center, I can give you simple example. Call center, manufacturing unit. How many women employee work in these organizations? Call center percentage is high, manufacturing percentage is low. Why? As a manager, you have to find out the reason. Nature of job. Yeah, nature of job. So not only job fit person, you have to find out person fit organization also. In which organization who is fit, right person to join. So this one is personality. Right person. Right job. Then emotion. Emotion is also important. Another example I can share with you. You all have seen air hostess. We call emotional labor in psychological terminology. She's not happy. She has some problems, either internal or physical. But she welcomes each and every one on board with a big smile. What is this? This one is emotional labor, which needs to be managed in organization. Employees have to know the concept of emotion. So this one is another concept of organizational behavior. Perception. So many biasness in organization. We all have seen. In appraisal, you have biasness. In recruitment process, you have biasness. As per my own temperament, I would like to select people. As per my own temperament, I would like to reject and I would like to feel people. I have this type of temperament, you should have, she should have this similar temperament. This one is perception. Perception is your full and final judgment against any person, any assignment, any organization. Somebody had told me Reliance has aggressive culture. Why? Because non-stop they are working. It's a perception, but maybe this perception is wrong. The same way when we are appraising people in organization, maybe our perception is wrong about the individual. Yes, it's a wrong. So perception is also, even suppose consumer behavior. You have to think about perception of your consumer as a marketing people. What are their perception about the product? Demand, everything. Concept, culture of your organization, my perception about culture, behavior of this organization, very nice. Like interpersonal skills are very high. This one is my perception. So anybody can create perception on the basis of past information. So perception is also important. Then you know training is important to mold the behavior of employees. So psychology gives these things to work on with the help of organizational behavior. What is job satisfaction? Job satisfaction is nothing, it's a work attitude in organization. Attitude, commonly we have a wrong notion about work attitude. Somebody showing tantrum, we have a feeling kya attitude dikhata hai, kya attitude dikhati hai. But this one is a wrong concept. Basically attitude is related to your work in organization, how much effort you are putting in your work. You are happy, you will put more effort and you will have job satisfaction. You can see, can I discuss like a little bit? I would like to discuss downwards. This one is, we don't have anything to show you. So suppose organizational success is linked with job satisfaction of individual, then you can give your hard work. Job satisfaction is linked with attitude of people in organization. You have positive attitude, you will have job satisfaction. Attitude is linked with your personal values, which you got through process of socialization. Your mother has given, father has given, and you have certain set of values in your personality, which creates positive and negative attitude. So this one is attitude, and attitude is linked with job satisfaction. Psychology gives you, or organizational behavior gives you individual decision making. How will you take decision in organization? Because this one is linked with your perception. Decision making is completely linked with your perception. Performance appraisal is also linked with your perception. Employee selection is linked with your perception. These are the things which organizational behavior is giving you to manage your employees. Then another important area which contributes a lot, social psychology. Social psychology, an area within psychology that blends concept from psychology and sociology. Do you think communication is important in our organization? Upward, downward, horizontal, grapevine, transactional analysis, these are the communication process. If you have to change the attitude of your employees, you have to use communication. How attitude forms in organization? Because of knowledge. Somebody is knowledgeable, you can form a positive attitude. ABC, these are three components. A is affective component. Suppose you are familiar with my sister, I will form a positive attitude, although I know you or not. Second is B, behavioral component. You are very good in your behavior, I will create a positive attitude. The third one is C. So always remember A, B, C for formation of attitude. C is your cognitive concept, means your knowledge. You are very knowledgeable in our organization, everybody will go to you and find out like, please give me the solution. So this one is cognitive component. So these are three components you have to remember for attitudinal change in organization through communication. Either through your knowledge you can change, or through your behavior you can change, or through your affection you can change the attitude of employees. And communication is way to change the attitude. Then social psychology gives you group processes. We can't work alone in organization. Now we have to work in a team. How to work in a team? How to make your team more cohesive? These are the function of social psychology. How to take decision in your group? Social loafing in your group, have you, I think probably later you can ask the question, what is social loafing? Social loafing is a process in group where people are not contributing in the group decision making. Suppose someone has an introvert personality, not willing to speak and contribute in the group. He says only yes, yes to everything. And you have found in your organization while taking decisions, few people are like this. No question answer, nothing, just to say yes with group. 10 people have said yes, so I will say yes. So this one is social loafing in organization. But our responsibility is to make more cohesive group which would be productive. So this one is the contribution of social psychology in the field of organizational behavior. Then anthropology. We can talk about culture of organization, we can talk about environment of organization, we can talk about, in this competitive era, we can talk about cross-cultural analysis also. What is culture? Culture is not a thing which can be touched in. Culture we can feel. Culture is similar to personality of any individual. We can say such organization has a very good culture. Why? Because people are happy there. This organization has a bad culture. And who is creating culture? You people are managers, line managers, leaders, organizational head. They are the people who are creating culture. So always anthropology helps you in creating a better culture and creating a organizational system for your organization. Then the political science. Always we have a negative feeling about politics, but it happens in organization. Conflict is unavoidable situation in organization. We can't avoid conflict. So political science is giving you information about how to minimize the conflict. We can't solve the conflict, but our responsibility is to minimize the conflict. Then intra-organizational politics. It happens in organization and you should know how to manage. You know, there is a word, Machiavelli. Machiavelli was French writer, and what he did, he had written a book and where he used how to manipulate all the resources for organization. From that point of time, we had started in psychology the concept of Machiavelli. We can attach the word Machiavelli with any leader, any manager. He or she has a very good Machiavelli power, or he or she is able to solve the conflict. But you know, in our Indian tradition, even we had Machiavelli, and we all know the name of Chanakya. What he did, he manipulated the whole dynasty to manage, to save the dynasty, Maurya dynasty. So this one is power, politics in organization. We can't remove, we have to manage, and political science is giving us way to manage the politics and conflict in organization. You see how OB helps. Do you think OB helps us in responding to globalization? Yes, globalization, like we have a different culture, cross-cultural management. Always after knowing the concept of organizational behavior, you would be able to manage globalization in an easy way. Diversity is a common aspect nowadays. We all have to manage diversity, age, sex, community, everything we need to manage. And how will you manage? With the help of organizational behavior. How will you improve the quality and productivity in your organization? Already we discussed about job satisfaction. Already we discussed about team. These are the ways to improve productivity in your organization. Always. Your team is successful, team will produce more. Team will be productive automatically. Yeah. So team is like everybody is contributing a lot. It means team is productivity. Who will responding to labor shortage, like where to get labor, how to get labor, how to manage workforce, how to create human resource planning. manpower planning. These are the things which OB is giving to you. Improving customer service. Customer satisfaction is like key for any organization, either for hospitality sector, for manufacturing sector, for educational institute. I am part of educational institute, but my motto is to satisfy our students. It's a customer service. And how to satisfy? We should know certain techniques of organizational behavior we will take. Later in question answer, I will answer all the questions. What are the ways? Okay, next is improving people skills. How will we improve people skills? Emotional intelligence is way to improve the people skill. Because you know other people, put your leg in another's shoes, empathy. Then you will feel the temperament, behavior of other. Accordingly, you can design a training program to improve the productivity of individual. So emotional intelligence is a new concept. And now we have given so many trainings on emotional quotient. Already I discussed 4 aspects. Know yourself. You know your minuses and pluses. Manage yourself. The second step would be manage yourself. How to change your minuses into pluses. Either as a good HR personnel, you can design certain training program based on the training need analysis. How many minuses your team members have. And you can design the same training program to change the minuses into pluses. So know yourself, manage yourself. Then you should have social awareness where you work. What is your social setting? Like you work in Gurgaon, you work in a different state, you work in a remote place in Bihar. Accordingly, you have to manage. You should have social awareness. You should have awareness about your surroundings. Then you can develop the emotional skills in your employees. Empowering people. Douglas MacGregor has conceived 2 concepts, divided manpower into 2 parts, theory X part and theory Y part. What is theory X? It's a traditional temperament. People, unless you are giving responsibility, you are pushing your team members, they will not work. They are taking each and everything as the easy going. Theory Y temperament is our young generation. You people are from theory Y temperament who are willing to contribute to organization without any external push. So it's a Y concept. So empowering people, if you want to manage your people in an organization, you have to empower your people for better productivity. Empower means they will have accountability for their work. I am responsible and accountable for the work because I got empowerment from my organization and I am able to use all the resources to complete my task. Coping with temporariness, it's like all of a sudden come. You have certain challenging work. How will you manage? You have a task force which will manage. You have to create certain council task force in organization to manage the sudden work. Sudden change in your organization. How will you manage if you are not ready to manage and you are not ready to cope up with sudden change, and it happens in organization all of a sudden? Why? Because of external environment. Policy changes. Market is dynamic. Even we can remember the days of recession. All of a sudden it happened. Although India never had recession, we created recession because of America and because nowadays European countries have. So these are the sudden changes in organization. You have to be ready how to manage these changes. Stimulation, innovation and change, these are the link with helping employee balance work-life conflicts. So many flexi hours extra people are giving to manage work-life balance. You know, for managing work-life balance, we have to think about 3 stressors. First stressor, individual, like I have a negative temperament, always I feel, okay, you have given me so many work. I have to work here for 8.5 hours for a day. As per Labor Act, I have a negative temperament. I have taken each and everything in a negative way. You have given me a simple task, I have a feeling, no, I can't do it. Do it. This one is individual. Someone has Y temperament who will take each and everything in a positive way. So individual himself a stressor. Then the second one is work setting is stressor for your employee, especially in manufacturing unit. They are not happy with the work condition. I have a simple example. We were working on a case, Salona Khilona. It's a case study, very famous case study from Ahmedabad. What happened? So initially workers were very happy to produce more than 100 toys in a day. Company name was Salona Khilona. What happened later? The work setting was not very productive because of humidity and the heat of oven was coming out and the whole atmosphere, environment of the room was very hot. So employees were not productivity. Then they called a change agent. They had seen the environment and they had given certain suggestions. And the company has implemented suggestion and productivity increased more than 100 toys they produced in a day. This one is your work setting and environment and creating work-life balance for your employees. So environment is important, individual is important, and your task is important. These three factors always help in creating work-life balance. Then improving ethical behavior. So many cases we have in India which discuss about ethical behavior, bribe, unethical practices. So always we want, as a people from organizational behavior, don't do like this. Ethical practices in organization nowadays is very important because we are working as a responsible management organization, responsible managers. So ethical behavior is also important. Yeah, these are the always. I think if anybody had research background, if anybody has research background, then you know about the two concepts: dependent variables and independent variables. What are the certain things we have independent variables in organization? Your job is independent, your work setting is independent, your policy is independent, and these are the things which are dependent on independent variables. Productivity, a performance measure that include effectiveness and efficiency. Productivity is based on what? The type of work, the type of resources in organization. Suppose you have moved your resources, you have changed your policy, productivity will be affected, will come down. Effectiveness, achievement of goal. They are not happy with these three dependent variables are interlinked: productivity, effectiveness, and efficiency. Yes or no? No, these are interlinked. Your efficiency is linked with your productivity and effectiveness. Achievement of goal is the final outcome, and efficiency the ratio of effective output to the input required to achieve the hard work we are putting. That is our efficiency to work in our organization. Effectiveness, achievement of goal, and productivity. These are interlinked. Absenteeism. Suppose someone is not happy, your absenteeism rate will be high. Very, very high. You have to manage your absenteeism rate. Even turnover. Why turnover is high? Attrition is high because you people are not able to create a satisfactory level in your organization. A simple example. One of the psychologists, Locke, has given equity theory in organization. What is equity theory? Balance. You have to provide equal treatment to your employees. Suppose I am putting hard work, you are also putting hard work. Always we want to know, we want to see how much hard work you have given in this work. We want to compare between you and me. Suppose even I have put hard work and you have put hard work. We want to compare. Outcome is company has given you more appraisal, company has given me less appraisal. It means company has done unequal treatment with both of us. What would be the way? Either absenteeism will be high for me or finally I will leave the organization. So as a motivation, you have to provide equal treatment to all of your employees. So this one is absenteeism and turnover, dependent on what? The policy of your organization. You know the concept of organizational citizenship behavior? This one is another very, very important concept in organization. If you stay for a longer period of time in an organization, it means you have taken organizational citizenship. Similar to Indian citizenship, I am citizen of India, I am loyal to my country. Somebody has taken organizational citizenship, it means that person is loyal to your organization, committed to your organization. So as a line manager, as a HR professional, you have to give organizational citizenship to your employee. It will help you in retention, it will help you in better productivity. I think again I have to repeat, organizational citizenship is, you know, I am citizen of India, right? I am loyal to my country, I am born here, brought up here, spent a longer period of time in this country, that's why I am loyal, I have a citizenship. The same way, if someone works in your organization for a longer period of time, it means person has taken organizational citizenship. You have given all the resources to the employee. That's why he was satisfied and he stayed in your organization. The way you can add so many citizens in your organization by giving good resources, good structure, good facilities, work-life balance, you can increase the number of organizational citizenship in your organization. Basically, citizenship also linked with job satisfaction. Yeah. Yeah, job satisfaction, job commitment, job involvement. These three factors always. So job satisfaction, a general attitude toward one's job, the difference between the amount of reward workers receive and the amount they believe they should receive. So already we discussed what is job satisfaction. It's a work attitude in organization. Now just see, these are independent variables. Whatever we discussed as a dependent variables are depending on these three factors. The first one is individual level variables. You have not hired good people for your organization. They are not a right person. This one is mistake here. They are not the right person. So your dependent variable will move here and there. Satisfaction level will move. Work attitude will move. Absenteeism will be high. Turnover will be high because you have not selected the right person. And these are the independent variables in your organization. Then group level variables. You have a cross-functional group. You have a heterogeneous group. Homogeneous group. It's your responsibility as a HR manager, as a line manager to create a cohesive group. Multitasker you should have in your group. Like suppose I'm giving responsibility, I have one assignment, I'm giving responsibility to my team members. It means I have knowledge about my team members, who is capable for what. So this one is group level variables. Nowadays, self-managed group is also important. Like your responsibility is to just assign tasks, they will manage. Cross-functional group. Cross-functional group means in a group you have a people from marketing department, you have a people, and especially in manufacturing unit, they are dependent on each another. Marketing is very important because you are getting assignment through your marketing people. Warehouse is also where resources are available, raw materials are available. Your production department, packaging department, quality check. So many groups you have linked and dependent on each other. That's why group level variables are also important. If you have bad composition of group, not cohesive group, all dependent variables will move here and there. Then organizational system. Policy changes. Structure is not institutionalized. No decentralization of power. Chain of command, span of control. These are the certain elements of organizational structure which need to be discussed for creating satisfaction and managing the dependent variables in organization. Organization system, what is organizational system? It's a structure design of your organization. In each organizational structure, you have chain of command, you have a span of control. Chain of command means who is reporting to whom. Span of control, one manager is handling how many departments, the number of employees is a span of control. Work specialization is also very important. Then institutionalization of your policy. Every year are you changing your policy? Or your policy is established, institutionalized. So people are comfortable.
If frequent policy
Yeah.
change
So people are comfortable with the institutionalization process of your organization. So this one is organization system. Then as a whole organization, are you able to define the growth path of your employee or not? Because always, are you able to create link between individual values and organizational values? Always, you remember, all of you, remember one thing, each individual is joining organization with certain set of values. And if we are not able to create alignment between his or her values with organizational values, we will have dissatisfaction. We have to find out certain ways to create satisfaction between individual and organizational value. So these are the role of organizational system level variables. Then culture. Culture is very good. Environment is conducive where people can work, produce more. So these are three departments or independent variables where rest dependent variables depend or move. This one is Mars model. Always you have to remember. Here you can see individual behavior and performance. Depends on what? Motivation, ability, role perception, and situational contingencies. MARS, that's why it's called as the Mars model of organizational behavior. The whole concept of productivity, job satisfaction, behavior of employee depend on these four factors. What is motivation? How will you motivate your employee? Because motivation is a cyclic process. Someone has need, desire. That desire and need creates disbalance in the physiological structure of the employee. Simple example, I am hungry. I have certain need in my stomach. I want food. Always I think about food. How to satisfy my need, I will find out the ways. Is there any canteen in this organization? Is something near which I can buy and have it? So always we want to find out the ways to satisfy our need. The same thing is motivation. Someone is joining your organization with certain motive, with certain desire. If you know the Maslow's hierarchy, Maslow says the first need is your physiological need, the bottom of the pyramid. Physiological means your food, shelter, and money. And especially in manufacturing unit, your blue collar people, they have a physiological need very, very high in their personality. They want food, shelter, money. Then we move to safety need. Are you providing any insurance, any safety norms? This one is another need to stay in the organization. Once your safety need is fulfilled by you, then your employee will move on social need. Organization name is good. Your social setting is good. You are happy with working with others. This one is another need. Then again, this need is completed or satisfied, will move on self-esteem. What I want in this organization. Recognition, promotion, whatever. This one is your self-esteem. Then the final top of the pyramid is self-actualization. It's a top of need. But basically, why people are joining your organization? To satisfy these needs. Physiological, safety, social, self-esteem and self-actualization. If I am not getting satisfied in your organization, I will leave, because somewhere I have to satisfy my need and desire. So motivation is important. You have to give tangible or intangible. For someone, intangible is very, very important. Recognition rather than money. In my age, on a certain level, money is not a motivator. Your recognition is motivator in your organization. It's an intangible way to motivate people. So clear, motivation is M. Ability. How can I motivate a people who is not capable to do the work? Because competencies are not fit for the job. He is not a right person for the job. So ability, we have physical ability, mental ability and conceptual ability. These three abilities we have to think when we motivate or hire people for the organization. Mental ability, your IQ level. Physical, your stamina. Nothing else. For physical work, we can't hire a people who is very weak in structure. We can't hire. Laborers, those who are carrying for building, we need a physical stamina for that. So ability. Then the third one is role perception. How are we going to perceive the role which is being assigned to me? Role is clear to me. Role is very ambiguous. I didn't get the clarification about the role. I don't have any clarity about the role which I am going to perform. Even in a team, suppose someone has assigned me a role, I am not able to understand what type of role I am going to play in this team. What would be the outcome? So role perception is important, because already I discussed in perception, your perception is final judgment. Once I perceived this role is not suitable for me, this role is not good for me, I will perceive it negatively. Outcome will be negative rather than positive. Then situational contingencies. Okay, motivation is high, good ability and competencies, clear about the role, but resources are not available. These are the situational contingency, or even we can use context of the work. So resources, financial resources, infrastructural resources and other resources we have to provide. Then finally individual behavior and performance will increase. Now, finally, organization behavior caters following aspects. The first one is motivation. You have to provide motivation to your employees. Motivation is extrinsic also, intrinsic also. We have certain expectation from organization which needs to be induced by the organization. I have joined one organization with certain expectation. Organization will provide me good salary, organization will provide me career growth, organization will provide me good infrastructure. So these are the inducement from organization side which I expect while working in an organization. Then I would be motivated. The second point is behavior modification through learning. Learning is on process. It's a permanent, not exactly permanent, but change in your behavior through learning. Suppose someone is not capable to do the work. As a HR manager or as a manager, you will provide training. Then you will evaluate after training, did his behavior change or not. This one is behavior modification. It happens in organization. Behavior modification has 4 points: positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, punishment and extinction. What is positive reinforcement? Time to time you have to motivate your employees with verbal recognition or through some tangible recognition. You can give some gift, awards. This is a positive reinforcement. Employee will repeat the same behavior again and again. Then you have negative reinforcement. Employee is very good in your organization. He is very good, he contributes a lot, but his tendency is to come late in your organization. You can give little bit negative reinforcement. I will deduct your salary because you are coming late. But internally, you recognize the contribution of the employer. You don't want to punish. So this one is negative reinforcement. Then you have punishment because person is not working as per required. So you can punish, demotion, transfer. These are the way to punish people. Then extinction is another very, very important behavior modification. Like extinction is, suppose in one situation, this result, this behavior was appreciable. Next situation had changed. Person has been transferred to other department where this behavior is not required. But I am used to do the same behavior because I was recognized due to my this behavior. Then what will you do? You will just remove any kind of reinforcement to the employee. It happens in child. In Indian context, बच्चा जब बड़ा होता है, पार्टी में आता है, मदर कहती गाना गाओ, बच्चा तोतली आवाज में गाना गाता है. Somebody is giving chocolate, somebody is clapping. Bachcha is very, very motivated because always he tries to sing song when he sees three people are sitting together. But at a certain age, this behavior is appreciable. But when boy turns 10 years old, this behavior is not appreciable in party or in a get together. What would you do? You will remove the reinforcement. Nobody is praising. Once he will feel that, okay, I sang a song, nobody is appreciating me. Next time, he will remove that behavior. The same thing you have to use in your organization. Context has changed. Now, no more this behavior is required in the current context. So, you just remove any motivation. But employee is very good. So, this one is the extension of previous behavior. Then creating job satisfaction through handling the work attitude. I have told, please remember ABC. Effective behavioral and cognitive component to change the attitude of your employee. Either through learning, you can change the behavior of employee. Either through your own behavior, how will you handle your employee? You can change the attitude. So these are three components to change the attitude of your employee. Then alignment of personal value with organizational value. The way you are creating alignment between personal and organizational value, you will add satisfaction level in your organization. We all are entering with certain set of values in our mind, which are product of process of socialization. No one has value system when a child is born. Your mother is giving the values, what is right, what is wrong. This one is values. Capital punishment is right or wrong. Someone has a temperament, capital punishment is wrong. We can give chance to survive again and rectify the crime which he had done. Someone has a temperament, no, capital punishment is right. He should be punished. He should be hanged. Why right or wrong? Because we are developed and grown up with certain set of values. For someone, ethical values is very strong. Values are very strong. For someone, monetary values are very strong. It depends on the personality of individual. But here, when people are entering with certain set of values, it's our responsibility or your responsibility to manage or align the value with organizational value. Growth, ethical plus monetary values, whatever values you have to manage or align. It happens, what happens? We have three stages of value alignment. The first, people are entering with certain set of values. Then the second stage is encounter stage, where clash happens between your values and organizational values. It's a metamorphosis stage. You have to give time, you have to give enough space to change or adjust in your value system. And then finally, if someone has adjusted, outcome is positive. Someone has not adjusted, outcome is negative. Either absenteeism is high or turnover is he will leave the organization. This one is process of socialization for value alignment. Now the next point is removing biasness through change perception. How will we change the perception of employees? How will we change the perception of managers? How will we change the perception of leaders? You know, all the time we are bombarded by different stimulus. The stimulus in psychology, we call stimulus as an object. Even I am stimulus for you because you have not seen me. Later you will create perception about me. The organizational behavior is a stimulus for you because if this one is interesting, you will create a perception. Good, not interesting, bad. So we are creating perception based on our prior experience. We have all the time, we are bombarded by certain stimulus. Computer is stimulus, you are stimulus, she is stimulus. The way I perceive, the way I add meaning in the stimulus, my perception will change positive or negative. Because we would like to add with our prior experience. Suppose you have given me one assignment. I have worked in my previous organization on a similar assignment. I will perceive in a positive way. Oh, this one is very easy. You have given me a new assignment and no clarity is there. Assignment is totally ambiguous to me. What will happen? Initially, in the beginning of the stage, I will create negative. My productivity will go down. This one is perception, and it's our responsibility or your responsibility to change and clarify the perception of workforce or employees in your organization. The second aspect, attribution of perception. What happens? The way I feel, we want to perceive other people. I am very conservative. I will feel if someone is conservative, she is very good. Someone is not conservative, not good. It's an attribution because I am putting my thinking on other people. This one is another biasness in organization. Then performance appraisal. The way again it's a personal biasness in performance appraisal. Selecting people for your organization. The whole team will select as per their own choice. So these are the perceptual errors which need to be solved and rectified in your organization for better productivity and better employee setup. Then the last one is job fit personality, type AB personality. We have certain tests in psychology which can be administered on employees, and you would be able to create a docket about each employee. 16 PA, MBTI personality test. You can apply on your employees. You will have a docket which gives you information about attitude, aptitude, competencies, and accordingly you can design it. If competencies are low, you can improve the competencies by providing certain values or training in the organization. So many aspects we have that can be used for the personality for individual, and it's very important. Marketing, you have to select extrovert. For finance, don't worry, even introvert can work because it's a different type of nature of work. So for each job, you have certain defined competency and personality traits. A leader should have a good personality, a different personality trait, because that person is changing the organization from one state to another state. So that person should have a different personality. So these are the individually motivation, learning, job satisfaction. These are the separate chapters in organization behavior, which we teach to our management student to know and change and apply in organization. Here we have given a brief, concise way of presentation, but these are the different components of organization behavior. Yeah. So any question, please?